Hi everyone, we're going to move on to the first lesson of our right angle triangles unit. Another word that's thrown around quite often is trigonometry, and this is a very common course throughout all high school mathematics, and this plays a large role in many trades, construction, architecture, engineering. Anyway, the topic is one of those ones which might seem odd at first, but believe me, once you have enough practice at it, it actually is quite understandable, and you should have a fair bit of luck with this one. So what I want to start off with here today is just some basics about triangles and just some ways of classifying some different sides and angles, like proper naming. Just some key hints here first. What we're dealing with right now are right angle triangles. Right angle triangles are specifically triangles that have a 90-degree angle. So if I draw one down here in this blank space, it looks kind of like this, and it's a terrible drawing, but the point I'm trying to make is this. You will always have two lines that are perpendicular to each other, or in other words, this line and this line, they are perpendicular, and they create a 90-degree angle. So that's what a right triangle is. It is a triangle that has a 90-degree angle inside of it. Also, just so you know, when you see this kind of box structure, that is the symbol for a 90-degree angle. So if I drew it another orientation like this, and I put in kind of that square box symbol like that, you know that you have a 90-degree angle. So those are the main kind of triangles that we will be using in this unit of study. The next thing that we want you to be aware of is that within a triangle, any triangle, the three angles always equal to 180 degrees. So for example, if I draw another triangle, and okay, so let's say I put this triangle right here, that's a 90, okay? So that's 90. They won't give you the number, they'll give you the symbol for it. And let's say this one was 50. And they might say to you, well, how much is that angle right there? Well, all you have to know is that within every triangle, you have 180 degrees, take away 90 and take away 50, and that will give you your missing angle, which in this case would be 40 degrees, okay? So you can use that trick all the time. Now just erase that. So please remember that inside of every triangle, the total of all the angles is 180 degrees. Next, we get into kind of how to do some naming. And just so you know, there's this little trick where if you look at this, I'm down here now. When you look at this triangle, this is angle A, this is angle B, and this is angle C. This is quite often used in math to help you name angles and sides. So if I look at angle A, which is right here, the side that is across from that is typically named lowercase a. So if you look over at this is angle B with a capital, side B would be the one across, which would be lowercase b. Same with angle C. If you go across, you'll have lowercase c. And that can use different types of letters as well. If I were to do this, let's call this angle D, angle E, and angle F. If you had to label your sides, this over here, the side across from angle D would be little d, the side across from angle E would be little e, and the side across from angle F would be lowercase or little f. And that just comes up sometimes, and later on in this unit that may help you find some missing sides and angles, well, when you learn how to calculate those. There is another way of helping us kind of name some sides. One of the common ways of doing this is if you want to name a side, you can use the vertices. So for example, if I show you, so here's angle A, capital A. Now what I just told you is the side across can be called lowercase a. Another way of labeling that side would be like this. So if I were to ask you, what is the side named across from angle A, you actually can use the two vertices. So you see this side over here, which is one way to say is little a. The other way of saying is that is line BC. If we take that in another direction here, if I said to you, what could you call the angle across what could you call the side across from angle C? Well, one way of doing it is calling it lowercase or little c. Another way of naming this side over here would be to call that AB. That's just some basic basic terminology and definitions for you of how to name triangles. So none of this information is overly new or difficult for you, but it is information and knowledge that we will use moving forward. Now that we're done this lesson, there will be some practice for you, and please look for that below this video. Thanks, everybody.